4 people wounded in a shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School today.
Dallas ISD officials say they have identified a suspect who is, they say, on the run, but officials declined to share much else about what unfolded. Fox 4's David Sentendrey has been trying to get more information from district officials, and he joins us now live. David?
Yeah, Heather and Steve, that's certainly a key takeaway, that police have identified who this shooter is, but at this point in time, that shooter is not in custody. That's some key information, again, that came out of that news briefing from the district. But other than that, we really are not getting a whole lot of answers to many questions that we have and that parents here at the school have. So we were waiting for well over an hour for Dallas ISD to address dozens of media members out here on scene. And then when it came time for them to address us, we were told they were not going to take any questions. Then it turned into, oh, we're going to take just 2 questions. Keep in mind, there were dozens of us out here, so they were not really addressing some key questions that these concerned parents have, that we have. Right now, they're only saying that 4 people were injured. The district is not even confirming that those 4 people were shot, just saying that they were injured, even though Dallas Fire Rescue has confirmed to us that 4 people were shot, 3 with non-life-threatening injuries, and 1 who is in serious condition at a hospital. Those victims range in age from 15 to 18, according to Dallas Fire Rescue. Here's a bit of an exchange that was had between Dallas ISD and media members just a few moments ago.
Do know that the gun did not come through during regular intake time, so it was not a failure of our staff, of our protocols, or of the machinery that we have. So it did not come in through regular intake.
Can you expand on that?
I cannot expand.
We do appreciate your time.
That was the second question that Dallas ISD took. Again, they're talking about a gun making it into campus, but they will not confirm that 4 students were shot. That's, again, what we have confirmed from Dallas Fire Rescue. Dallas ISD just saying that 4 people were injured. Dallas ISD will not confirm what part of the school that this reported shooting took place, where it took place. So we did speak with City Council member Tanel Atkins. He says that he expects all 4 people who were injured to survive, so certainly some good news there. We are also told that one of the victims is a 17-year-old male who was shot in the lower leg. So we'll keep working to try to get more answers out here on scene and throughout the evening. But again, need to reiterate what was said at the top of this newscast, that the suspect is still on the run but has been identified by Dallas ISD police. Steve, Heather.
All right, David, it sounds like a failure to me that a gun got onto the campus. That, even though the police chief was saying it wasn't a failure of their systems, a gun got into school and 4 people got shot. So that's a pretty serious situation. I want to know about the person, though. So this shooter is out there in the public, hiding out, willing to do bad things to stay free. I mean, what should the public know?
You would certainly think that the public would want to know where someone who just allegedly shot 4 people is now running from, where he's hiding out at, but none of that was answered. They didn't give us really any more time to ask additional questions. So yeah, a shooter is still on the run. They did not say if they have any idea where that person is located at, who that person is, who he or she might be coming in contact with. Again, like you were saying, a whole lot of questions left unanswered, and we even tried to talk to Dallas ISD after they addressed the media, just trying to get some information on background, and not budging. They're basically saying what they gave us in those short few minutes is what all media members are going to get.